Alright guys, back into the pit of bug destruction. So, same process again. Let's look how many bugs we have left and do like a min-max range. F5. So we've got 13, so 0 to 12. 2. So that is this one. Other weapon is not put back in inventory and equipped. Right. Remember this. It was only a couple of weeks ago actually. This is a good one. The one I did last night took 50 minutes, and it was a good 50 minutes. Not like staring at the screen for 25 minutes confused. It was good. This one hopefully won't take that long. Right, so one more read through. I'll put all the chapters in before I upload it. So let's think. Other weapon is not put back in inventory or unequipped. So what I mean by that is I now have 2 inventory slots. I equipped. No, this was before having 2 inventory slots. This related to having 1 inventory slot, and I'd equipped the handgun in the weapon slot, and then I'd equip the submachine gun, the PDW, and the handgun would disappear rather than pop back like a toggle, pop back into the inventory slot. So inventory equipment, like that. So now we've got 2 slots. That issue will still persist if we have a weapon which needs to go in the same slot. So I'm going to have to make a proof of concept weapon. Right, let's get to it. So we go items, we go weapon. Let's do Control and D for duplicate. Let's do. I really don't like putting numbers on the end. Let's put 2 because we're going to delete at the end of it. We just need to test it. If we get it working with the side slot, we'll get it working with the main because they are copies of themselves, not parent-child, copy and paste duplicates. So, because they're functions. Right, we need to differentiate it. So we'll just call it 2. And in the internal name, I don't even think I use that anymore. 2. It goes into weapon side. Yeah, good. Save. I need to go to the slots. Not the slots. Oh, what's it called? Did I just call it weapon? I did. Yeah, I made some more. So there's going to be a list of them. The list might be like retro note. Is it in equipment? The list, right? Oh, okay. Originally, this started out as equipment, and then parts of it, weapon, kind of still come under equipment because it's like a master equipment slot. Right. If we look on the right, we see. Like you'll notice if we step back, I define what slot it goes in here using the category. That just used to be weapon, and I didn't use the enumerator, the enum category, to switch between it. I used this array originally to go on, like I guess you'd say like class, like not class, but like blueprint name. Oh no, it is a class. It's purple, so it's an array of classes. So let's just pop this in. But again, this is the case of, you've made a version 1, it works, you expand functionality, and then you're slowly, still elements are like retro, like, I don't know, UK, for example, are just about to stop using coal, but at the same time of them just about to stop using coal, they're already using nuclear and wind farms, so you see it's like the energy is migrating to new, but there's still historic old that needs patching up. And it's the same concept, but with what we're looking at here between enum categories and this style. Right, so what happens? So let's think. We've created a second weapon. Let's not load up this level because this level does still instantaneously crash, unfortunately. Let's load up the guard post one because there's no enemies in it. Alright, okay. Let's now put in pick up. Let's put two. Oh my god! Every time it catches me off guard. I think it's because I have an invisible wall. It's not. Oh, because it's on game mode. I have an invisible wall here, which is not showing. I definitely do, because otherwise you'd fall out. But it's not showing for some reason. Right. Game mode. Scale it half of itself down. Let's put it somewhere sensible. Yeah, that's alright. Let's break it off into two. We want number 2, and we want number 1. Let's go into, let's just take a little step back, go to the weapon, let's go to 2. Let's, how could we define it as different? Let's just stick in 2 there, because obviously the thumbnail and the sprite look the same. Let's put like, I don't know, 15 rounds in, you know, just a couple of like obvious differences, because you know I'll probably miss it if I'm not paying attention. Right, don't worry about the ID. Yeah, I used a lot of tutorials over a year ago, and now I don't use them anymore, and I need to like strip away what I need, what I don't need now. So we play it. We come into this. We should be able to replicate it right this second. Weapon 1, weapon 2, 2, 1, 2, 1. Equipped. Equip 2. Ah, you see. So it does come back then, but it comes back as the wrong one. So now we're starting to find a pattern. So equip 2, drag it over. It does come back, right, but it still comes back as the wrong one. So let's just, I'll speak out loud so you can understand how my brain is working on this one. So we equipped it, right. So now, let's zoom in a bit. Let's get some light on him. There's not much light in this room yet. Right, so we've equipped it. So we had an object, we had a blueprint object. When we collected it, it was a class. It turns into a class that goes into the inventory slot. Right. We equipped it. It goes from the inventory slot to the equipment slot. We unequipped it either by dragging over, doing like a drag equipped, and it unequips it, or we right click to unequip it, or we do like right click equipped, like so. Right click unequipped works because it is unequipping that class, that object. So we equipped 2, we unequipped 2, fine. But if we equipped 2, then we equipped 1, it does an overwrite. So this is something to do with when we ping back the item from the equipment slot back into the inventory slot, we are pinging back the wrong one. So one more thing, so I just in my head can figure out which one we're pinging back. Right, so equipment, so gun 1, equip gun 2, it's I don't know why it feels like some sort of like some sort of riddle. Right, so we equipped gun 1, we equipped gun 2, and then they just auto default. Okay, so we need to look at the unequipped and we need to make sure the unequipped class is the actual class in the equipment. We don't need to think too complex into, you know, that, trying to figure out all the different variations. We just need to think how to code it sensibly. So we unequipped it, we equipped it, that item's class is now the equipped slot item class here. Right, we unequipped it, that class gets put back. That's all we need to focus on. We need to make sure the transition between inventory slot and equipment slot is the same class, and equipment slot to inventory slot is the same class, regardless of other actors, other classes getting involved, like me trying to do another gun. Alright, so we need to look at unequipped. Let's unequipped is on the player because it's though the inventory holds things, the equipment and unequipped, the equipped and unequipped is on the player. Okay, weapon side. But the thing is it a universal issue? Because it's not just one unequipped, it's all the unequips having this issue. So let's look at the master. It's the master unequips we need. Okay, so each one of these, I'm gonna have to change each one. I knew I should have done it. I knew I should have done it dynamic, but I know at this point when I made this, I didn't even know it was gonna work. Well, like I knew I'd get it working, but you know what I mean. You want to get it working. So that's the equipment category we talked about. Where it picks one of them, and regardless what you right click, you unequipped it. Whatever the class, the categories of the class you've right clicked, it then goes into here. That's an enum. That's like an enum switch. And if it's main, it goes to main. If it's side, it goes to side, and so on. So let's start at side and then fix it, and then we'll just replicate the code across all the others, because you might have more than one helmet, more than one main gun. Right. So unequipped item. So regardless of the right click, unequipped, regardless of the drag over and unequipped, regardless of the drag away and unequipped, it all triggers unequipped. So if the class is valid, true, add item to index. Right, you're adding the item to index. So you are adding it back to the inventory, but you are adding the wrong one back to the inventory. So we need to look at where item class is coming from. So let's go one step back. This is, let's look at the unequipped master, and the item on the unequipped master is here. But where is this item coming from? It's coming from here. This can be a bit confusing. You think you just do that, and that's the way I've always kind of done it. But I saw in a tutorial, like, you can do this, like item get, and you see that if you had variables called item, it would be there. But if you don't have variables, then it's this stuff that's relating to the variable you're actually referencing here. So yeah, it again makes it look cleaner. It adds a bit of, technically that could be a completely different variable, couldn't it, if you're not careful. Right, so master unequipped item, so we need to go one step back, like we were doing reverse engineering. So that will be on the slot. When you right click, preview mouse button down, unequipped, item class. Right, but where is this item class coming from? So let's go one step back from that. It's called preview mouse button down, but essentially it's just so you can do right click, because right click didn't work properly in like here from the tutorial I used. So let's go to the event graph, origin, right, update slot. So the item class is coming from the updated slot. So we go back because the slot is inside the widget. This one in particular talking about, but they're all just replicas. Main side. So where's the item class coming from? The item class is coming from update weapon side slot. Where is update weapon side slot going? It's coming on equipped. So we've figured it out. Well, I have. Hopefully you have too. So the item class is the equipped class. We need an unequipped item class, or like a last item class, or like item class currently equipped, which we've already got. We'll do something like if current equipped class for sidearm is not null, then use that as the class when you right click and you put it back into the inventory. So let's do it. So if we just take a step back, because I realized that it went on a bit of a divergence there. Update weapon side slot. That's what we're looking for. That will be triggered on equipped. Master equipped. Master equipped. Update master slot. And we got boom, we got update master slot, and then it goes, oh yeah, sorry, I missed this step. Update weapon side slot is a custom event, and again, just like you saw, I made it at the same time with the enum defining which one it equips, which one it unequips. This is essentially another part of the puzzle where when we equipped it, we get the class, we get the unequipped category, which is interesting because the unequipped category is working, that's fine. The category is unique, it's like a dimension, but that needs to be different. So we do master, and then it goes to the equipment widget, and the widget goes, okay, so what slot you wanted to put it in? And you go, okay, so it's sidearm, okay, cool, so you want sidearm, okay, lovely. So we'll equip that slot, and then after we've done that, we've put all the details into that slot, we then update that slot. This is like a universal update slot, that because you know they're just replicas. If I could have 500 slots, this would all be the same. It's what you feed into each individual slot, and that is controlled by this, which is controlled by that, which in the end is really controlled by category and class. That slot was just a reference, because originally I kind of had one that went and did something clever. We don't actually need that anymore, but I'll keep it for now. So we need an unequipped, so either that null thing I said, or we need like an unequipped side category class, side weapon side class. Right, that's where that array comes in I talked about, remember, on the right. So we equip the sidearm. We've already got it equipped. Cool. Mess, don't need half that stuff now, definitely. Again, V1 transformations, so on, so forth. Unequipped weapon side. We unequipped the class. So that's fine. We unequipped it from we trigger the unequipped. Otherwise, if it fails, wait a minute. If the equipment slide is valid, then unequip that class. If it succeeds, then equipped. That's when you swap it. That's when you swap it, I believe. Oh, so rusty. Otherwise, yeah. So if the equipment is not valid, alright, so we might need to do this in two places, because if the weapon side is not valid, which if there's nothing already there, if it's empty, I think it would be a not valid. Potentially, oh, it's like a web. let's test something. Let's put something in there, see what happens, and then we'll work from there. We'll work backwards. Oh, let me just turn the heating off. Okay. Get a bit more space now. Let's see. So when you equip the weapon, that's fine. That goes into the equipped side class to go through the equipped process. Yeah, equipped unequipped category is dual purpose. Yeah. So we need that not to be dual purpose. When we do an unequipped, let's look at unequipped. Maybe we can kind of just kind of catch it here. Oh, I know. We'll do what we did in the consume ammo. If the ammo type is not the current ammo type, then put that into last ammo type. If let's stick it right at the front. So where we define it, here we go. Not B. If. I can't remember it. Is it like Dragon B? Branch. Come on. Right, let me just do a branch then. You know when you know the shortcuts, but then when you try and remember the shortcuts, like explicitly try and remember it, it's like your brain's forgot how to do it. Right. That's that. But before we set it, and before we equipped it, before we set this class, if get equipped, I think it's got 2 P's, or it's got 2 P's in this example. Weapon side. If equipped weapon side class does not equal get class. I haven't done a local variable. Let me just do it filthy for now. So that's RER. There is a quicker way to do a reroute, but I can't remember. If the equipped weapon side class does not equal the side class, then let me step back. What's the class here? Where's the class? Oh, is it not there? Oh, is it in the bloody data table? It will. No. Huh. One sec, brain's not working. I just need to re-remember. Now. The class, oh yeah, because the class will just be like the class version of the object. That's fine. Right, so it will be different. I was just trying to make sure that Service Pistol 2 and Service Pistol 1 wouldn't have the same class name. They won't. So you've equipped the weapon, you've equipped the item, you can right click equipped, you dragged it over, whatever. You've done all this, but if equipped weapon, if current handgun does not equal handgun you've just equipped true, then set. I have to make a new one. Can you even? Oh, is it just normally at the top when you do create variable this way? Oh, I'll just bloody replicate it. Oh well, I need to do last for all of them. Oh, but it's okay. I won't need a map because it'll just have to be a flip flop. You whatever need a list of all the weapons that's stored somewhere else. Oh come on, brain. Separate, haven't I? Side class. Duplicate. Duplicate will work. Okay, copy and paste. Sometimes duplicate doesn't work. It doesn't work for all the item types. Last equipped side class. On the right, let's put that into weapon. Let's put it next to each other so I'm at least giving myself a fighting chance. Oh no, they're all sides. Okay, we'll leave it separate. Alt, drag in, trim. Oh, it's messy, messy, messy. Okay, let me explain what I'm doing. You've got, let's do a use case. You've got handgun in this slot. You put another handgun in. If those two handguns don't match, then the first handgun you had in your hands, put here. And the new handgun you put in your hands, you're about to put in your hands, put that in your hands. That will then allow us to capture the last handgun you had and the current handgun you had. We then use that in the unequipped element of the side, and rather than doing a blanket unequipped to the category, we tell it to unequipped the last weapon from the categories. Update slot is universal, it's shared for unequipped and unequipped because it's just an update, it's just like a refresh. So we refresh the slot, that goes in here. We've equipped the new weapon, the unequipped weapon has been stored here. After we've unequipped it, bearing in mind, like, ignore that class, ignore that for now. Oh, actually, no. Ignore me, I'm putting it in the wrong place. Here. There we go. Because it's replicated, because it's used more than once, it's like a semi-generic. This is where the blur can come in. Okay, so let's step back. We've equipped it, cool. What we're going to do with the gun we've just got rid of, we've put that into last equipped weapon side class, yeah? Right, so then when we trigger unequipped, we put that last equipped weapon side class back into the inventory. But we don't care about the slot because we're just wiping that thing, we'll wipe it clean. Don't worry about that because the equipped will take ownership of that slot. So we don't need to worry about saying, hey, make that the new one then. Save it. Bearing in mind this will only work for side at the moment. Play it. Perspective. Right. Okay. Weapon 1, weapon 2. I kind of wish I could have tinted the colour. We equipped 1. That's 1. That's 2. We equipped 2. We are expecting 2 to disappear and 1 to reappear. It has not, and it goes completely just made more problems. It's alright, though, we're getting there. Try it, think it through. We equipped 1. We drag back 1. Nothing. We right click 1. Nothing. It's got a runtime error. Okay. Add internal. Oh, okay. Oh, Pandora's box. When we go to here, this is right. Add item, go any deeper. Add item goes to add item. That's fine because add item is it's cool. It goes into the inventory stuff. That's fine because we're giving it top level. This is what we want. Index. It's fine. That's to do with the item weight and stuff. Putting in the inventory slot. That's cool. Oh, I've just gone and closed it. 1 second. Sorry. Hopefully you find this stuff interesting. It's good to work it through. Like, kind of on a call. But let's look at the error. Add item internal is where the issue is. It's the local class. Right, yeah, that's to put it back into the inventory. Yeah, local class is fine, so what's the problem? Yeah, because local class comes from add item internal. Add item internal. So the add item internal is used by add item. Add item. Where is add item being used? Is add item being used in here? Add item is being used in here. But what's the problem here? So we add item class, which we've fed as the local item. Oh, it's none. It's none. No, let me show you it. It's none. It needs an is valid. I'm almost certain it needs an is valid. Because I've done where it doesn't match, haven't I? But a null can still not match. And, oh, even more messy. Is valid. Really, if this doesn't work, I might need to do an is valid of the item. But realistically, it will be a valid class because it's a class of an item, and it's only triggered when that's done. Okay. Right, so you've already got a handgun in your hands, you get a second handgun, or let's say you haven't got a handgun in your hands and you add a handgun in this case, we're empty and we add a handgun in. If the equipped side, if the thing in your hands is either a handgun, if it's a handgun, then swap it, move it over to last, that's fine, and then we do the equipped for the new one, that's cool. You equipped a handgun. If what's in your hand is empty, is valid. So is empty would be is valid false. No, it's not is valid. No, 1 second. It should be like is empty. But let's try is valid. It might function because the error is happening because there's a non-reference, so it's not valid. So the fact it's a non-reference, it could get solved by the is valid check, caught by it. Right, so if it's empty and you put in a new weapon in, that still will not match. So that will still trigger as yes, true. But that will trigger as false, and a true and a false would then lead to a false, which would then lead to that new class, but the last one would not be incorporated. But if the last one is not incorporated, then that will be empty. So then when someone goes to unequip the weapon, oh my god, then when someone goes to unequip the weapon, it will attempt to unequip that empty class. So then we need a if the last equipment class is valid, true. Oh, do I really have to stick in another one? I think I do. if the last, let me remove that. No, I don't need it. If the last weapon is true, so we've done a weapon swap, cool, then I need something else, I need something else. I need to step back. We need unequipped weapon, like weapon class 2 unequipped. Rather than having loads of branches. Oh, why can I never find it? Duplicate. No, I can't duplicate it, can I? Copy and paste. Weapon. Unequipped. Unequipped side weapon class. Right. So if the last, I need to kind of run this beforehand. Let's do it in the equipped. Let's do it in the equipped. Okay. So if it's not valid, if it is valid, let's say it is valid and we've done a handgun swap, got one in our hands to get a second one, we swap it. Set unequipped. The last weapon class also becomes the weapon class we are unequipped in. If it is not valid, so we've got nothing in our hands originally, then the weapon class to unequipped is the equipped side weapon class. You see, and then we go to unequipped, and then here it's whichever one's correct. So if you've had a main weapon, so if you had a handgun and you swapped it for another handgun, that original handgun becomes the unequipped weapon side class. If you don't have a handgun, so you've got empty hands and you equipped a handgun, then that becomes your unequipped weapon side class. This is just to put it back into the inventory. It doesn't matter its slot. The slot's just going to kill it. The slot's going to wipe it, truncate it, gone. We need the inventory to do it, so we have a control of it. This feels like it should work. We've got an is valid check. We've got an is valid check to kill that, and that, because the weight and all that stuff all feeds through the add item. So that should kill these. So we shouldn't get an error. It'll either just work or not now. Right. Let me put some light in. Actually, have I got ambient light? I've got ambient light on this one, I think. Let's create a second ambient light because I don't want to trash it. Maybe I'll just do it. How's that look? Junk. Right. Ambient light's really useful if you turn off all the lights, but obviously not great. Point light. Is that going to be way too bright? That'll do. Okay. Right. Oh yeah, I must have only got it to trigger one on that one. Right. Brains. Let's get brains in gear. So, pure and simple, we expect it. The one we put in our hands is the one that goes back. Weapon 1. Unequipped. Didn't work. Oh, for God's sake. Weapon 2. Drag back. Doesn't work. What have I broken? What have I broken? Yeah, add item internal. I know. Trying to read none from item class. Oh. That's just not being fed through. So that's not being fed through, so it's something to do with here. it's expecting item class to be fed through somewhere, and we are just not doing it anymore. This might be a long one actually. Let's step back, let's get some ticks going to look at the different classes. So we don't need hosted logic. Let's look at the debugs. Let's duplicate that and tweak it. Side, weapon, classes. Get rid of that. Side weapon class. Last weapon. Unequipped weapon. Current side. Current side. Last. Two unequipped. Last. Actually, yeah, we'll just do a side just in case I end up retrofitting this and I'm like, oh, what's this pointing to? Current side, last side, two unequipped. Save, Control Shift S. Play. Current side is that unequipped. It's not passing it. Last side still needs to be populated regardless, because if there's no, if you haven't got anything in your hands and you're equipped a handgun, that is your first and last at that point in time. So it needs to be initialized, I guess you'd say. So for equipment slot, so if the side weapon, instead of is valid, maybe we need the null, like I thought. Oh, is null, is empty? No, equals empty. Then do we even need? Yeah, we still need the match. So, you equipped a handgun. You haven't got anything in your hands. So, it's empty at this point in time. And it doesn't match the one you've just equipped you're about to equip. So it's empty and it doesn't match true. So last equals that's it. It's staying null, isn't it? That's his problem. A variable going into like two different variables. Right. Oh, right. So this is triggered true. So it's empty. You've got nothing in your hands, and the thing you've equipped does not match the thing in your hands because it's empty. True. So then, no. Then, oh, mess. So then the item slot you've equipped becomes the current and the last. But in this case, it becomes the last, the unequipped one, and the current in that order. Do we need the unequipped still then? Because, yeah, and then that's it. I'm trying to assign it before it's been done. Okay, so it's null. So it's empty, you've added a new weapon. So the new weapon becomes the last weapon in your hands. It's also the weapon you're next gonna unequip. And so when you press unequip, that's gonna be the weapon that gets unequipped, and it's also your equipped weapon. Right. If it's not empty, if it matches, false. Then the equipment class is the current one. Or really, that could just be null now, potentially. Could be. Might not need that now, but we'll keep it for now. It might just be implied through this process of that to that being the same as that. And that'll always trigger first, you see, because you'll always start empty. Maybe not actually. Maybe in theory. Okay, so we've done. It's empty, and you put a new weapon in. We've done. You've got the same weapon, and you're trying to like replicate it. You're not empty. False. But it's a different weapon. True. Still goes as false. Then you want to unequip the original weapon. Okay. Let's try it. This is why print strings they're just amazing. What we got? So we've equipped it. Nothing was there before, so both the first and the last are the same. We unequipped it. Yes, that's correct. We unequipped 1. We equipped 2. 1 comes back. 2 stays in the slot. Yes. We unequip 2. 2 comes back. Perfect. This is where the ammo thing just works like sweet. When you're switching between the ammos, it's the same logic. Oh, this is the one that I'm not sure about. Drag in 1. Drag over 2. 1 comes back. Oh, yeah. I just don't trust the drag over. We right click 1 again. 2 goes back. Right click 2 again. It remembers its slot. Oh, no, it doesn't remember its slot. It's not triggering to say that slot's empty. Could fix it. It's not really a bug though, is it? It's more just like, I guess it's kind of like a nuance. I'll raise it as a bug, but I'm not going to fix it in this one because it's just like a feelings bug. It's like a visual bug, isn't it? But it's not breaking anything. This is really good. I'm really pleased with this. Let's put them like that. It'll still go slot 1. Yeah, and then I'll go slot 2. Yeah, and then I'll go slot 1 because slot 1's back. We've done it. Ignore these. This relates to, is it the door? Shelf. Oh, so the shelves and the light switches. Well, we know what's going on here. The light switch is static. Yeah, that's fine. The collision is static. But you're saying it's not static. Alright, okay then. Alright, so yeah, I flagged it as static, which is a warning. Pop through it. Move. Why on earth is it down as movable? I can fix it. I'm not going to fix it in this one because it's a different bug. It's real easy. I'm just going to go to the master blueprint and do static. Maybe because I thought the drawers were moving a year ago. I thought I needed that. I don't think so though. But yeah, it's done. That's that one done, and that, oh, that's been around a while, you know. I've just only logged it recently, so lovely. Sorted. Thank you guys. 50 minutes again, but good. We fixed it now. I'll see you later.